In a previous video I asked about some references in this book, the Mandorla and Tao, concerning how joining a guild could set you free, and I think I found the answer. It turns out that some of the first guilds that existed were actually religious guilds. So they were for people who'd taken religious orders or had jobs connected to the church. And they were groups where people got together to support each other, to cover the costs of living and the cost of dying, and generally to help each other out. If you look at some of the minutes of these guilds, which seem to be dotted all over the country, I mean, there were 30 alone in Norwich, for example, and 10 in King's Lynn, what was known as Lynn then. They say you've got to make sure you behave and don't drink too much, and I always think in a society where you have to say that, then that's obviously happened at some point. But if we're looking in the 1300s, then you can see these guilds are mostly clergymen, or at least run by clergymen, and they have funds for good works and for supporting the poor. And I believe the reason that you become free from joining a guild later on is because if you joined a monastery or the priesthood, your vows to God would override those to your Lord. And because guilds came from religious guilds, that rule still applies. Later on, I'm actually going to visit some of these places where the guilds existed, because there were some very powerful, very colourful ones, like the Guild of St George in Norwich that have a big snapdragon, and the Fellowship of the Rosary in Cambridge. So I'm going to have a look at some of these and find out, did they have secret handshakes or signs? Did they take vows? Did they protect secrets? And then we can start to piece together a little bit more about the connection between the guilds and modern Freemasonry. If anyone else is reading this book and wants to help me with this journey, that would be very interesting.